Hello everybody and welcome to the HCW Podcast. This week we are going to be reviewing Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, AEW Saturday Night Collision, AEW All In Live from Wembley, and AEW Dynamite. So it's a fun-packed show. Stay tuned, roll intro.
HCW Reviews.
Hello everybody and welcome to the show. I am your host, Frozzy, back this week from last week's assignment alongside Rate Wrestle, who is also back this week after his holiday. How have you been doing, buddy?
Yeah, doing well. Watched a lot of indie wrestling, which we'll be doing a podcast, me and DP, next week. So we're going to be branching out into that market. I'm being good. How are you now?
All good, yeah. Got a bit of a headache, but it's just, it's the strains of life, shall we say. But yeah, all good. And you are fully recovered from your all-in experience, I imagine.
Yeah, I had a wonderful time. Walked up so many stairs. Had a better view than most people that paid £400 for their tickets. Yep. I loved it.
Yep.
I paid 27 for mine.
It was absolute madness when you and DP sent me pictures, and I was like, I'd much prefer to be sat where Ray is.
Yeah, mine was slightly zoomed in, but it wasn't like to a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, wasn't like heavy.
Yeah.
No.
And then like, my mate's one, he was far back and he paid like probably about £80, and it's like, hold on, I paid £27 and I've got a good view.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough. Well, glad you enjoyed it. I'm sure DP did as well. He sent a lot of pictures into the Discord servers from the meet and greets he did at Rev Pro and stuff, so they looked quite fun. But we will get this show on the road, and we'll start with WWE as always, and go to Friday Night SmackDown if you want to take it away.
Yeah, so Friday Night SmackDown kicked off with obviously the tragic passing of Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. We haven't got to discuss it due to that we haven't been here.
Yeah.
I was gutted, I'll be honest, about Bray Wyatt. Absolutely gutted.
You would have found out like in the morning as well, because it broke quite late, and I imagine you were asleep.
Oh, basically what I found out was, weirdly, this is going to go into a weird story. Leah, on the odd occasion, sleeps downstairs because our bed's crap and she feels more comfortable downstairs sleeping.
Fair.
I heard her having a nightmare, so I came down, woke her up, and she told me about a nightmare. And I was about to go upstairs, and she went, "Oh yeah, Bray Wyatt's died." I went, "What?" What? And then it was like 5 o'clock. I was due up at 6, and I just couldn't sleep because I couldn't. Do you know when your mind just goes, "What?"
Yeah.
I had to research it, and then what's happened?
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
It was like so devastating. Like,
yeah,
it's the first active performer since like Eddie, WWE wise, and it's just like you see this man all the time, and people don't get appreciated until something like this happens. Is what I find, because people were like, "Oh, it's a bit boring" and things like that. But now that he's passed away, everyone's like, "Oh, he was so good." So I find that a little bit hypocritical. We've probably said it ourselves on the podcast, so we are a little bit hypocritical ourselves. But the whole situation is just so sad.
Yeah. Like, I was very much, I like the kookiness of Bray Wyatt, so I got heat for liking him a lot. A lot of the time, not from the podcast, but in general. But it's just traumatic, I'm going to be honest. Brody Lee as well. I was thinking there was one that's definitely passed away actively, Brody Lee.
Yeah, mine was more WWE. I didn't really separate the AEW thing, but yeah.
But yeah, it was just very shocking in the way, like, you just, when you found out he passed away as well. Not great. Especially
when you've heard rumours that he's gearing up for a return, and then within 2 weeks he's like...
Yeah, I was expecting him to turn up at SummerSlam, and then it's like, oh, he's passed away. And it's like, what?
Yeah, it's just such a sad situation, and the outpouring and everything shows how popular he was. And so, it's obviously a sad time for his family with JoJo and the kids and stuff, so hopefully they find a way through. He clearly got a lot of support. So.
Yeah, WWE have done that thing that you buy any Bray Wyatt merch, you just go straight to them, so that's good.
I'm pretty sure it's probably run out by now. As we're recording this, his merch will be sold out.
Don't buy bootleg stuff, it isn't going to Bray Wyatt's family.
Yes, precisely that, yeah. If it ain't from WWE, don't buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's really sad. The tribute, the video and everything like that they put together was fantastic though. And then it was just when they left the chair, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, so SmackDown, it started with this. This is why we went into it. So everyone was there, including Eric Rowan, which was a nice touch that they got Rowan to appear.
Yeah.
He was only there to be on the stage for the 10-bar salute. He didn't do anything show-wise. And they had Braun there, travel over as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did 10-bar salute. That was for Terry Funk as well.
Yeah.
And then they had the white package, which was just phenomenal package. Just like casking his whole career. And then they moved on to the actual wrestling. So we kicked off because I didn't know how they were going to do this. I didn't know if it was just going to be a tribute show in general, and we're just going to see Bray Wyatt matches all night. But they just kicked off into a general show.
Yeah.
So we had Rey Mysterio versus Grayson Waller. I rated 2 3/4 stars. Theory kind of tried to get involved. It didn't really happen. Escobar attacked Theory, and then Ray picked up the win. So Grayson Waller picked up another loss. Good old Grayson. The lose machine.
Literally is there to lose at the moment.
Yeah. He's not having a great time. Then Damage Control were there. There was a discussion of how it's been like a giant fluke, the whole situation. And then there was a once in a generation thing which I wrote here, and I don't even know what it was, so I'm going to move on. Io and versus Vega. I don't remember it being a good match. I've not even wrote my rating, but I rated it. Io won, and Bayley got involved for the win.
Yeah, it wasn't awful. So I actually watched SmackDown live because of the Bray Wyatt stuff. So I was like, right, I'm actually going to watch this show live. Didn't make any notes, but it wasn't the worst.
Right at the time.
No, it wasn't the worst match in the world. But yeah, Io obviously won because she was always going to.
Yeah, I rated 2 3/4 according to this, so I must have enjoyed it. I just don't remember the match at all, but I do watch a lot of wrestling in a week. So then we were followed up by a Cody segment, which was just obviously a lot of this was on Bray Wyatt, but they had to have someone to discuss obviously the Dragon Packing and Terry Funk, which is a massive thing as well.
Yeah.
And it was probably best Cody out of everyone, unless you could get Mick Foley down, because Cody, Dusty were rating. He mentioned the story. The first time he heard of Terry Funk was when his dad was going through an airport, and he heard someone call his dad an egg-sucking dog. Yeah. And I went, "That's definitely Terry Funk." Yeah. And there was just general stories about Funk, and obviously a nice thing. And then they showed a Funk package, and then Cody introduced, in the honor of Terry Funk, we're going to have a hardcore like street fight brawl thing for Terry Funk, which was the Street Profits versus the Brutes, but it was the version of Butch
Holland and Butch.
Rich. So I put this as my match tonight. I rated 3 stars because I really did enjoy it, but it definitely was not a great honouring of Terry Funk.
Not
the hardcore style of Terry Funk.
Yeah.
They did use the table.
Yeah.
That was the whole hardcore.
Yeah, madness.
There was not even chair shots, if I remember. It was just a table.
No, it was like, I expected so much more. Like, the match wasn't bad, but when you advertise a hardcore match like that, deliver a hardcore match.
Yeah, it was the match of the night. It was just, I thought they'd kind of just throw it in for once and just, like, not doing something crazy, but, you know, like, something reliving a Terry Punk, have some barbed wire, or, like, have, like, or of these famous flipping branding iron.
Yeah.
Like, he used to come out with it on fire.
Yeah.
Do that. This was mainly to get the Profits over as well. Lashley obviously trying to be a nice guy, and then they kind of losing his cool. Knight was in the ring at that point, and he had a discussion about Bray Wyatt, and then I completely forgot Bray Wyatt and Knight had matches. I'm going to be honest. Like, I completely forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. And it wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to throw it, like, I'm trying not to, like, I just didn't remember it was a thing. They were making Wyatt, like, Lele Knight was a big thing of Wyatt's last kind of opponent, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was Extreme Rules, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was definitely on this podcast.
It was the Mountain, they had the Mountain Dew match, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Now I remember. Yeah. Now it's coming back.
Yeah, no, it was not, and it was not good.
No. Oh, yeah, because he had Bray Wyatt at that face paint, didn't he? Yeah, I remember that. And then he was speaking about he's going to be fighting the Miz, and the last thing he says from Bray Wyatt, Miz run, which obviously the Bray Wyatt thing, so that's cool. Then we main evented with Finn Balor versus LA Knight. LA Knight won cleanly, and are 82 3/4 stars, just one cleaner.
Yeah.
Beat Finn Balor. LA Knight's on a roll.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the end of SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean...
It was a good SmackDown. It wasn't bad matches.
I was going to say the matches were alright, but it was more centred around being a Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk tribute show, which they did a fine job of. The packages were great. Cody did what he needed to do, which was good as well. So good 2 hours.
Good 2 hours of wrestling, and then we will move on to another 3 hours of... I really liked Raw, to be honest.
I was going to say, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, match quality-wise, it was really good.
Yeah.
Except for Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark, which I really liked and have not rated it, and I remember rating it, so I've got the rating written down here. I'm just going to edit my website at the same time as doing this. So it kicked off straight away. So Raw doesn't often kick off with a match just starting, as in like a...
Yeah.
Like going straight into a match. There was entrances. It was Zayn versus Priest, but normally it's the typical, we have to have someone start the show by talking crap.
Yeah.
So this was the first time in a while, or memorable, that they had a match kick off straight away.
Yeah.
Priest versus Zayn was the match. So JD McDonough, I rated 3 stars. Priest picked up I'd say a clean win, but JD McDonough tripped Zayn, which led into Priest hitting himself of heaven, and he picked up the win.
Yeah.
Then JD raised Priest's hand. Priest had none of it and left JD in the ring, and then Kevin Owens came down and absolutely obliterated him. And that's kind of leaving the dissension within Judgment Day again, which is good.
Yeah.
And I do like JD McDonough, so Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, I hope they just get this over with now and just get him in. Just because we can all see what's happening. Yeah,
needs to happen. I think what's going to happen, it's either Priest will get evicted from Judgment Day, or JD McDonough will help him win the title, and then it'll be like, that'll be like I can't really be mad at you.
Yeah.
And then Finn and Damien will have a fight or whatever at some point. But moving on, we had a backstage segment with Drew and Riddle, which they're starting to become rated RKO, and I don't mind it. I think Riddle's very good with going with someone that shouldn't be like, it shouldn't have like a sense of humour or like be dark and heavy, but he kind of brings it out on them.
Yeah.
So Riddle was showing Drew some tights that they could do, matching tights, and Drew was like, "No, this is not happening yet." And then Riddle went, "Oh, I know what we want: matching kilts." And he was like, "No." And then he went, "What we should do is we go down and watch the wrestling." And Drew was like, "No," and he went, "We should test it out." And he went, "Okay, I'd love to fight them nuts." And then he went, "The New Day," and he went, "No, the Viking Raiders, you idiot." And they went down to they were going down to the ring at that, going to be going down the ring later on. This was followed up by LA Miz. Miz is the ultimate cosplayer.
It was so good.
And he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was, like, even his years and everything was so on point.
Yeah, and how he played with the crowd as well.
Yeah.
So this was just a spanning of him mocking LA Knight for 90% of it, and then obviously he's going to beat him, and then he did the LA Knight thing, but MIZ, and then left. We then had Raiders versus New Day. I rated this 3 1/4 stars. I think this was my match. No, it wasn't. The main event was my match of night. But this was a very good match. I was really surprised by how much I enjoyed this match. And I enjoyed it more because the Raiders actually won the match.
Yeah.
So what happened was Eric threw one of the, I think it would have been, no, it was Kofi into McGriddle that were at the entrance at the ringside.
Yeah.
Then Drew lost his shite, threw a chair. We're not talking a metal chair. He threw a desk chair.
He like fully lamps him as well. It's so good.
He was out, and then Eric and Ivar took over and picked up the win. I don't know why the ref hadn't noticed. He must have been distracted at the time.
He was. There was a chair in the ring. The referee was tending to.
That would have been it. Oh yeah, because he threw that chair in first, didn't he? Originally, and obviously because Drew's a man mountain, it took a lot more effort for the ref to get it out of the ring than Drew to throw it in the ring. So yeah, the Raiders won, and there's a kind of like three-way rivalry happening, which I don't mind because they need to do something in the tag team division, and Drew needs something.
Yeah, he does need something. You're not wrong.
And Matt Riddle, the furthest he's going is the tag team division nowadays, isn't it? So,
oh yeah, as soon as someone gets injured, Riddle gets a new partner.
Yep. The Riddle Franken teams that always work out really well.
Yeah.
Started with Butch, and then it's ending with McIntyre. Judgment Day backstage. JD, Damien, Finn were all having an argument. Rhea basically lost her shit. Was basically saying that you all need to get yourself paid. You're all losing continuously, except for obviously Priest winning that match. The only people that are actually showing Judgment Day are good are me and Dom Dom. Which is true, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
They're the only ones with adhesion, and they're doing pretty well. This was followed by the Bray Wyatt tribute again. Obviously, they'll show it on both shows. I think it was a different variation, if I remember. I can't remember a lot fully.
No, I can't remember, because they do look quite similar.
And then we had McGriddle backstage with the New Day. Drew was basically apologising to Xavier, and then he's challenged the Vikings till next week. And Riddle was happy because he called him his tag team partner. So he was happy about that. That was pretty much the overall thing of that.
Yeah.
Imperium were in the ring next. Well, not in the ring. They were on the announce table because Gunther loves to stand on the announce table, like a platform. He basically said that Gable may have won, but he didn't really win anything because, you know, he's still the champion. So basically won out on a count out, like who cares?
Yeah.
Then Gable comes out and goes, shush, shush, please. And this led to him fighting Kaiser. I rated this 3.25 stars as well, I believe, which I did because I really enjoyed this match because Kaiser's fantastic and so is Chad Gable. So to have them both in the ring together, very good. And obviously Gable was winning this because he's going to be fighting Gunther. But it was a very good match.
Yeah,
and
again, just another good match that WWE have done quite well this week. Yeah.
And then Gunther just obliterated Gable because obviously that's the old kind of thing about that.
Yeah.
The whole Rollins segment, obviously Nakamura's going to be attacking his back. Rollins basically just says he's going to kick Nakamura's head off, do stuff like that. Then Nakamura absolutely waylays him, takes him out, and holds the title aloft. Do you know what? I'd really love Nakamura to win the title.
Can you imagine?
He won't.
He's not.
But if he wins it, he'll lose it to Priest, and that'll make me more sad.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to be like a transitional champion. Yeah, good. I like what they're doing with Nakamura with the packages.
Yeah, I still feel like they've missed the boat on Nakamura. His boat was about 5 years ago. But...
Yeah, no, yeah. The boat's cool. Like finally, firmly gone. It's like Castaway. He's on the island. They're trying to get him back.
Yeah.
Casamio backstage, and they've challenged. They're in Pittsburgh, and I think it's called the Steel City. So I wrote they're going to have a cage match. Nope, they're having a street fight, and I was like, really? Why have you led with the word Steel City?
Yeah.
Wrestling fans, when you hear the word Steel City, you're thinking cage match.
Yeah.
Cage match, not a cage match.
No.
So yep, street fight next week with the Judgment Day. Is it Judgment Day? Have I lied?
I feel like it is.
Who are the fight?
No, I feel like you're right. That's why I didn't question it straight away. Now you've made me second guess myself.
Yeah, it's just in my head. It doesn't sound right. Yeah. Oh no, it's at Payback, isn't it? That's why I've said in my head. I've said it wrong. So I said next week. That's why it's at Payback. Yeah, it's
okay.
It is Damien Priest and Finn Balor. That's what really threw me because I was like, I said next week, and I was like, oh, they've got tag team. Yeah, ignore me. Reed versus Ciampa, rated 2.5 stars. It was fine. It was short, and the pin was botched. Like, awfully botched.
Yeah.
But it's just a continuation of the rivalry. Not a major incident. They had a backstage segment prior to the Lynch thing where Lynch was basically pandering to the crowd. The crowd weren't really over on Lynch. And they just did the typical let's say where we are thing to kind of get the crowd to cheer.
Yeah.
Chad Gable did it as well.
I feel like the fans just aren't into this feud.
Yeah, it's because it should not still be going after 3 months. Ripley came down. She was talking trash about Raquel. Raquel came down. They battered each other. Raquel got the upper hand, which was good. But she's definitely going to lose at Payback. Which then makes me feel like, is she going to win at the Rumble? If she loses at Payback, it doesn't make me feel like I'm really excited for her to win at the Rumble.
No. I don't know. It's a way back, though, innit? Winning the Rumble.
It's about 4 months, is it? 3 months?
Yeah, but I mean, like, so she'll be out of the title picture.
Way back.
And comes back for Rhea and gets it.
Yeah. And then we had Starks and Trish talking crap about Lynch. Then we had Lynch versus Starks. I rated it 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that they didn't do the stupid thing, which that's what I was about to mention with the street fight thing. They were on about, that's why I got more annoyed, because they're on about fucking still sitting. They went, you know what, I get really annoyed about these interferences and stuff like that. So, you know, we're going to have a match at Payback, street fight. And it's like, interferences in a street fight. Literally, this match proved it. Trish fucking was in the match for 90% of the match. Yeah. That's why I thought it was steel cage. It was like...
yeah.
But yeah, so this match was very good. It was planned really well. Trish got involved for 80% of the match, which was good because it makes sense because there's no disqualification.
Yep.
So if she's down there, attack.
Yeah.
Eventually, it ended with Trish getting bumped off by Zoe on accident through a table, and then Zoe get manhandle slammed through another table. This is all done in the crowd, and she gets pinned and she picks up the win.
Yeah. Falls Count Anywhere match that doesn't end in the ring. What a concept.
Yes. So yeah, that was the end of the Raw. Good Raw.
Yeah, decent Raw. Like I said, main event was solid. The fact that they, as I alluded to, had a Falls Count Anywhere match that didn't end in the ring was fantastic. Like, literally, every time I see a Falls Count Anywhere match, they end in the ring. It's like, what's the point? So,
yeah, most of them don't make sense.
No, so,
I don't get concepts like Falls Count area makes sense, but then you have like no holds bar and no DQ and stuff, and I'm like, what's the difference?
They're all the same match. Yeah.
So it gets to the point. Yeah, street fight. What's the difference between a street fight, no holds barred, and no DQ match?
And a hardcore match. Yeah, they're all the same. But yeah, Raw was good. So no complaints on this end about WWE this week. It's been a hard week for them. So to put on the shows they put on were good. So yeah, no, fair play to WWE. And we will move on to AEW, who we've got 3 shows to cover. And we'll start with Collision.
Yeah, so Collision I didn't care for because it's not Collision's fault. It's my fault for going to All In and then watching Collision afterwards. So it made no sense to me.
Yeah.
FTW, they had a funeral for the Bounce. He was basically Jungle Boy, Jack Perry now, was basically saying, you know, he made the bout the name for it. And to be fair, like, he's probably the best champion they've had, and he's only had it for 3 weeks. He's the one that made me care for it the most. About to lay it to rest, and then Hook's music comes out. He batters him, and then he challenged him to Wembley.
Yeah, which out of sequence, how you watched it would have looked really weird. Because you'd have been like, oh, he's trying to retire the belt the night before he defended it. Okay.
Yeah. No, my brother told me the car up, and I was like, okay, fair enough. They had a trios match, which was Orange Cassidy, Penta, and Eddie Kingston, I believe.
Yeah.
Versus, it's Butcher. I ripped Butcher, and I was like, Butcher, Blade, and Sabian, that weird team. Rated 2.5 stars. It was very average, and it was just there to get the 3 guys in that match over.
Yeah.
Collision, as said, it was because it was a taped show. It wasn't really as great. Sue was backstage.
Yeah.
Love Sue. Santana and Tease were basically giving the reasons why they're getting involved, and then Eddie was got out and started searching for the BCC in them. We had Dark Order versus Action Andretti and Martin. I rated 2.5 stars because why is this a match? It was fine, but it's just I feel like they just threw a lot of matches onto the show that no one really needed.
Oh yes. Well, we'll get onto the pay-per-view soon as well.
And then we had a Fox apology for Dante to Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne basically snuffed it, but Darby accepted it. The Acclaimed had a rap. I'm going to throw it out here. My nephew will hate this because he loves the Acclaimed. I don't care for the Acclaimed that much because I find them slightly boring, especially because they do the same shit every week. Matt Caster's rapping is the most monotone rapping in the world.
Yeah.
Like, rapping-wise, it's just like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It just doesn't go up. It doesn't go, like, levels. There's no levels to it. It's just da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. It's not... Like, lyrically, he's fine. But, like, I feel like he takes forever to write the lyrics as well.
I feel like he doesn't write them, if I'm being honest. I don't feel like they're from him, so...
Bang Bang Gang. I've moved back here. Sorry, I'm going. I need to go to this side. I was looking at the Bang Bang Gang from last time I was on here. Big Bill versus Vay Morales.
Move on.
Big Bill won. Right, half star. Riot challenged Chris Statlander to the title. Robin Renegade versus Willow Nightingale. Rated 2 stars. Willow was clearly going to win the match, and it was fine. Not great. Chris Latlander says yes to the title match. Keith Lee fought Ziggy Dice.
Yeah.
Quarter star, I rated that. They're doing the monster for Keith Lee now, where he's going to be fighting a load of jobbers to make him look really strong because, you know, no one's saw this up and coming wrestler before.
And then when he gets there, he'll get beat. Yep.
I really like the Las Faction and Gobernale's trailer thing they did. It's like a movie trailer. It's reminded me of Lucha Underground. It was really good.
Yeah.
Should check that out. Joe can't attack Punk because of the title match, so he's going to be sitting at commentary. Had an 8-man tag match, which was Punk. Yeah, I can't remember who was in this 8-man tag match.
No, I'm trying to think now. I can't remember.
So that probably throws out how good it was. Punk, Darby Allin, Hook, and Sting versus Luchasaurus, Jay White, and the Brian Cage and Swerve Strickland.
Yeah.
I rated it 3 stars. I think it was my match of the night because it was always going to be. Obviously, the team of CM Punk stuff won. And then CM Punk talked crap about Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe literally went, "Can you confirm the match is over now, please?" To the commentary, and they went yes, and he just fucking charged in, and then there was just a giant brawl to end Collision.
Yeah, it was a collision, I suppose.
Yes,
it was there. It's hard with tape stuff to make it good. I still feel like Collision is still trying to find its feet. I still don't understand it very much.
Yeah, it's difficult with what the shit's happening on there. Yeah. They have good matches on the odd occasion. When they have main matches, they're very good matches. They're not like Dynamite where they can have main matches and still can't. Sometimes they're not good. When there is a main match, Collision is good.
Yeah, it's just a strange show for me. Like it feels like they threw it together so quickly to appease one person, who is still a fucking problem by the way. But yeah, there's so much going on in that company at the minute. I don't know what it was like there for you live as to whether you knew what was going on at the time.
No. I saw your post. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, unbelievable. But yeah, it's madness.
Supposedly it was 90% Jungle Boy as well, according to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, no one's blameless, but there's one common denominator, and it's always the same person.
Yes, Jungle Boy. You see also that they tried to... Miro and CM Punk had a joke fight, as in, like, jokingly were saying shit, and the fucking reporters instantly fucking threw that going to a big fight.
Yeah.
Idiot. Absolute idiots.
Yeah, everyone jumped on that. I think I even jumped on that, actually. I was just like CM Punk would ever take down Miro. Like, this man is a failed MMA fighter. Like, he got beat twice.
But that's Jungle Boy.
I mean,
choke the man out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what
The
happens.
meme of his Perry, Jungle Boy, and his dad at the wrestling. I think we've seen CM Punk in the main event, and it says, "Look, son, in 12 years, this guy's going to choke you out."
I think I was the one who posted that in FPL, actually.
Was that the one? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I saw it.
I'm sure it was me who posted it. But yeah, we'll move into All In, and you can talk us through your experience as you were there live, I suppose.
Yeah, I have 0 notes, so I'm just going via match listings and ratings, because I don't write notes and fucking big pay-per-view shit. Like, I write notes when I'm at Kamikaze and stuff, because I can just write brief notes, but I ain't doing it. Things like this.
No.
So 0 hour for you guys. Did the 0 hour start with Did you see Powerhouse Hobbs and Thingy do a contract sign?
No, the only one I saw was Hook and Jungle Boy. That's the only 0 hour. But that was purely because I was busy, so.
Yeah, so it started live at like 4:20. There was a contract table. Powerhouse Hobbs was in the ring. He talked shit about London, then he talked shit about Miro because they're having all out. And Miro came out and absolutely they just brawled, basically. Signed the contract, brawled. Simon Miller got thrown out the ring, which was nice to see. That was the start of that.
Yeah.
And then what I was really happy about was, so they had Jeff Jarrett come out, and I love a good old Jeff Jarrett. Started calling people slapnuts, and then just taking the piss out of everyone. He had his Wham gang with him.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, you hear Paul White's music. He comes out, and Grado's in tow. I was so glad Grado wasn't on the main show. So I don't get Grado. Don't get him. I got him like 10 years ago. Don't get him now.
He just has good entrances. That's it.
Yeah, but he's not even allowed to have good entrances. He can't afford to fucking hire him. Madonna Madonna's going, no, fam. And then there was also another guy, which I eventually found out was Anthony Ogogo.
Yeah.
They just cleared out Jeff Jarrett's troupe, and then Grado got the nice pop because he guitared Jeff Jarrett. It's Your Cell, and then that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Then funny things as well is they were advertising Tottenham versus Fulham, and everyone booed the shit out of it. Samantha Irvin, I don't know, that's the WWE one. The female announcer for AEW was trying to announce it, and everyone was just over booing it, and you could hear her laughing because I don't think she expected. She just went, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
And then they did the same for the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever, and they started booing that, and it was like,
yeah. It's I think people just like an excuse to boo, don't they?
Yeah. Well, especially Tottenham versus Fulham. Most of the fans there probably weren't flipping Tottenham or Fulham fans.
Well, it's more to do with Tony Khan, isn't it? And Fulham,
So we had our first match tonight in the 0 hour. It was the Young Aussie Open, the champions versus the Better Than You, baby. I rated 3 stars. It was clear today from the start of the match that the Aussie Open were losing. I got to see the kangaroo kick live, and I got to see the greatest double clothesline I've ever seen in my life. Cole Fletcher sold that to shite.
Yeah.
Like, not most people would sell it with a flip. He sold it with landing on the back of his head. Just fucking dead. And then you've got new Ring of Honor World Champions, Tag Team Champions. It's Better Than You, baby.
Yeah.
And they had a hair off, and then Cole walked off.
I thought this made it very obvious how the ending was going to go.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it.
Yeah. Jack Perry versus Hook, I rated 2.5 stars. It was fine-ish. There was just a few bumps, and then it got in the ring, and then Hook took over and picked up the win. I didn't really care much for it.
It was real glass, though.
It was real grass, though. Yeah. Absolute pleb. And then we kick off to the main show. So it kicked off with CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. I rated this 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed the match.
Despite Punk's best efforts, this kicked off the show.
Yes.
But I watched a video that was shared by RGX in the FPL chat from Stephen Richards, who dissected the finish of Punk and Joe. Yeah, not good. When I saw it fully explained, I was like, oh my god, it really was bad. Like, I didn't think it looked great, the ending. Like, the match was fine, but the ending did not look good. And when he dissected it and explained it, I was like, oh my god, he's right. He did the Pepsi plunge, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he's like, Samoa Joe's too big for him to do it. They've landed all wrong. They both could have been seriously, seriously injured. And yeah, it's just not a good ending to perform on a guy the size of Samoa Joe when you're about as strong as a wet paper bag like CM Punk is.
I loved it. That's why I rated 3.5 stars. I loved the finish.
The match was fine. The ending.
I was there live, so I couldn't dissect shit.
Yeah, the ending just did not look good.
But yeah, good match. CM Punk got busted open. Joe played the card of not being it wasn't like a close match. Joe was all over him for a lot of the match, which was good.
Yeah.
Because Joe should be like that. And CM Punk picked up the win, and then this was followed by the Bullet Club Gold and Takeshita versus the Golden Elite. I rate this 3.5 stars as well. I enjoyed this. I wasn't enjoying it mid-part, and then it started building, and by the end I got really into it. And I really liked that they let the heel team win. Yeah. So I expected it to be like, the Elite's in London, let's get that team over. I liked that it was a flash roll-up as well. Yeah.
It leaves it open-ended. You can do it again.
Yeah. But everyone looks pretty good in the match. Bang Bang Gang is fantastic. Takeshita's really good. And then this was a better showing for Ibushi.
Yeah.
This kind of match suits Ibushi. Hardcore Warfare does not suit Ibushi as a wrestler.
No.
Don't bring him in doing Hardcore Warfare. No. This was then followed by FTR versus the Bucks of Youth. I really enjoyed the Young Buck entrance. Because they changed... did you see the entrance?
Yes, I unfortunately caught a Young Bucks match.
Yeah, the entrance... Mama said knock you out, basically. Where it's fucking... I would knock you out. I really like that. And then... I rated 4.5 stars, the match. I very much enjoyed the match.
It was probably the best match on the card.
It was my match. Was it? Was it my match in the night? I've got two that's similar.
Right.
The other one might tip it just because of what it is. But yeah, I rated 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed it. FTR looked great. Young Bucks had a decent match, which was good. It was less... There was still flippy shit, but it wasn't as... Because they had an FTR match.
FTR will not let them do that.
Yeah. And I love some of the chants. Did you get to hear some of the chants about flipping Wheeler?
Yeah.
Wheeler's got a gun. Whoa.
It's so, a British crowd will make any show. A British crowd will make any show. It's unrivaled.
So at this point, I was about to go for a piss because I thought... I went to get some food. I went to get a hot dog and was about to go for a piss because I thought, it'd be one of these smaller matches. So no, it was the Stadium Stampede, and I was like, fuck! Yeah. So I ran back for that. So Best Friends, Kingston, Cassidy, and Penta versus Blackpool Combat Club, Santana Ortiz. Read it 3 3/4. It was just chaos, and it was fun to see it live. They fought near Sasha Banks, which was hilarious. Yeah. Eddie Kingston did his entrance again, which I really like, where Eddie Kingston gets absolutely obliterated, and then he comes out like a fucking zombie, just dragging himself to the ring. I always enjoy that. It's nice to see a deathmatch spot with the skewers, and they did it fucked.
Yeah.
Normally, they forgot to take the band off the skewers. Yeah. So the band shot off the skewers, and it went fucking.
Yeah.
And Cassidy did some Type A deathmatch, and I actually enjoyed the end where Cassidy out of nowhere did the Superman punch, but he had fucking glass in his hand, so it made sense that he picked up the win.
Yeah.
And it was a good match. All of them looked good, and it actually probably was my favourite Cassidy match, looking-wise, as in, he didn't look ridiculous for most of it.
I just feel like every pay-per-view they do has a match like this, and it doesn't matter whether you call it Stadium Stampede, the fucking fight on a flag, whatever you want to call it, it's the same as every other pay-per-view. So now I'm bored of these matches.
No. Anyway, let's move on. No, I like hardcore matches, as we know, and death matches and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's. I mean, if you like it, fair play, but I see it too often now.
WWE, you loved it. We had a triple threat. No, we didn't. And we had a four-way next. So Shida, the champion, Britt Baker, Toni Storm, and Saraya. Saraya was led out by her family, which was nice to see. Shida got a bigger pop, I feel like, than Saraya live, which was good as well.
Yeah,
Britt Baker,
I'm not a massive fan of Shida. So.
Yeah, I like Shida. Go see wrestling, love it. I rate this 2 3/4. It was better than an average match. What made this match was the most incredible curb stomp I've ever seen in my fucking life. And it was incredible because it was the most dangerous curb stomp I've ever seen in my fucking life. Actually, it's a curb stomp.
Yeah.
Like, who decided that was a good thing? What we're going to do is we're going to get in Paige Saraya's finish where she grabs both persons' arms, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to curb stomp you and you can't break it with your fucking hands.
Yeah.
So do you know how you're going to break this? With your face.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good. Looks so good. And then Saraya picked up the win, and it was a nice moment, and Saraya's going to lose the title in like 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, well, loads of people told me she wasn't even going to win, and I was like, well, if she doesn't, it's dumb. Like, she has to win. She doesn't have to hold it for long, but she needs to win this match.
There was a good spot with her mother as well, got clocked by Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Her mother is psychopath, so it looked really good.
Yeah.
Saraya turned on Toni Storm. Ruby Riott came out. They kind of turned on each other. Ruby Riott came out for 2 seconds, got punched and walked off, and I was like, "Oh, Ruby, oh, at least you got to pay her." We move on. So we had a casket match, which was Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland versus Darby Allin and Sting. Nick Wayne has a father, and his father's dead. Just wanted to get that out there. Christian Cage promos. Oh, I love it. I rate this 3 stars. It was fun. There was a lot of shit happening. A lot of fun shit. I like that Sting came out to... this wasn't my part of my rating. It was just I like Sting came out to Search and Destroy, which he hasn't come out in decades. So that was a nice spot to hear live. Darby Allin's a freak. The amount of fucking dangerous shit he does. Like, even the finish. And then again, Swerve took that finish like a champ. Swerve's hanging out of the coffin. And then Darby Allin probably should coffin drop the other side of the coffin. No, he coffin dropped Swerve.
Yeah.
Swerve didn't lose, though, because his dreadlock was hanging out of the coffin. That's the way I said it.
Yes. No, he never lost.
Yeah, it wasn't fully shut.
True.
Can't be a dreadlock. But yeah, it was a fun match. It wasn't like fantastic. I think it was an experience match, as in like seeing Sting live as well. I don't know if it was on TV. I would have liked it as much.
No, it was dreadful. I did not like this.
You're wrong. Moving on. No. I said, I think it was more an experiencing Sting and Christian and some of the bumps.
I would have enjoyed this show more if I was there.
Yeah. Next up, Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. I have as my match of the night. I feel like I rated it 4.5 stars as well, because it was like a New Japan style match. Chris Jericho did Fozzy entrance and actually sung it live, and he actually sounds alright live, which was very surprised. I thought he was going to be blown up to fuck.
He did the thing that you should never do, though, by doing the Queen thing before he did his entrance.
Oh, no, yeah, my brother's mate, Rich, he's a massive, overly massive Queen fan, and he fucking hated it.
Yeah, no, you can't do it. Not at Wembley, especially.
Yeah. But Chris Jericho is Chris Jericho. He can fucking do what he wants. He doesn't care what we think.
Yeah.
And it's the only time he's ever going to be doing it at Wembley, so I'm assuming he's went, yeah, no, fuck it.
Well, no, it's not going to be the only time he does it at Wembley, probably.
Oh, God, I forgot. Yeah, it's every year now.
Every month,
I'll be back.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. At least I'm hoping they're smart enough next year and not putting All Out the fucking week after.
No, they're doing it. This is a yearly thing.
Yeah, no, but having All Out the week after.
Yeah, no.
Surely
they're both bank holidays over here and in America. So he's going to do...
they're having All Out?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're doing All In, the UK bank holiday, and All Out, the American bank holiday. That's the way it's going to go.
It's not going to be good.
Nope.
Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. I rated 4.5 stars. I really liked it. There was a lot of false finishes. They did the thing which made Will Ospreay look really good, but then also Chris Jericho got his kind of stuff in. Ospreay had to do a few finishes at the end to finish him, which I do like. And it wasn't like Jericho kicked out, he did another finisher, he kicked out. Ospreay just hit like 3 finishes in a row, which I prefer that if you hit more finishes in a row rather than we'll get to Dynamite, where you hit a finish and then it's near count, you hit another finish and near count. I'd rather one of them maybe a near count and then hitting like, you know what, I need to hit 45 moves on this guy to beat him.
Yeah. And
then, yeah, he didn't kick out.
Kicked out the Stormbreaker though, didn't he?
Yeah. It's Chris Jericho. I'll allow Chris Jericho to kick out Stormbreaker. Live at Wembley. Sammy Guevara hit Ospreay in the face with a bat and cleaned him out. And he just about survived that. And then at the end, Will Ospreay's victorious. Sammy and Chris Jericho have a mini tiff in the ring, and Chris Jericho just walks off.
The thing about this match for me was that this was Chris Jericho's chance to finally get a 5-star match.
Yep, Crown.
And he got nowhere near a 5-star match for me. I know you've rated it 4.5, but I have seen what I class as 5-star matches be a hell of a lot better than that.
Yes.
I didn't think it was a bad match at all. Just didn't think it was anywhere near 5. And that was the whole purpose of this match for Chris Jericho. So wait for the Meltzer ratings for him to get his 5 stars, and then we'll come back.
There's Meltzer ratings. And while I'm about to speak to the next match. Oh no, there's not. I'm literally on fucking engagement. The next match was the Acclaimed versus House of Black. House of Black came out with a lantern, which was a nice touch for that. This match died. I rated 2 3/4. It was fine by the end, but the crowd were dead as fuck for it, and it's really bad for an Acclaim match because that's all they've got. Yeah. Like, they're happy when they won. I'm not asked about the Acclaimed. Like, I don't mind their matches. I feel like the AEW have blown them though. Like, when they were proper over originally and they won the tag team titles, and then they decided to drop them like a month later.
Yeah, this feels like a consolation prize for the Acclaimed, and I don't feel like it was the right thing to do. I feel like the House of Black would benefit so much from the trios titles.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't see why they've done it.
No.
Like, in all honesty. But yeah, the crowd were quite dead for it. Which wasn't the exciting, which wasn't
good.
Oh, sorry, I was just seeing these What Culture's rating. I thought Dave Mountain might have his ratings rolling in.
No.
And then we ended with MJF versus the Coalmeister. I rate this 4 stars. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of shenanigans. Cole played a heel really well in this, but not actually a heel at the same time.
Yeah.
He's really wanted to win the match. He didn't notice Strong punted MJF in the balls. And he nearly picked up the win that way. MJF played the babyface really well, and I really liked that. There was so many times where you thought MJF was eventually going to go, you know what, I've got this. I've been cheated in this match, I'm going to turn. And the amount of times like he threw down the Dynamite ring, the title and stuff like that. And eventually MJF did pick up the win. Cole was absolutely distraught, and I thought, he's going to turn on him after this. But he didn't. And now they're friends still. And what was really nice is they paid back to the moment where Cole turned around and he wanted MJF to hit him with a chair or a title at that point. And then MJF paid the favour, really depressingly sad, and he thought he was going to do it. And it ended with the Kingdom and Strong hugging on the entrance because Strong's really sad that Cole won't be his friend anymore.
Yeah.
Which I like. It's really petty at the same time.
Yeah.
And it ended on a good match.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match at all. MJF rarely has bad matches. That's probably one of Adam Cole's better ones since AEW signed him.
Yeah. One of my eyes right ones since he was in that.
I was a fan. It wasn't a bad match at all. But I just think, I think I said to you before we started recording, my problem with this show is that you could put it in any building in America and just bill it as a Dynamite, and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, you can have 11 matches on Dynamite.
The biggest show ever, as it was advertised, was average.
Yeah, my brother was saying that WWE will now try and book Wembley at some point just to try and outdo this.
Oh no, they will outdo it though. If WWE do that, they'll do bigger numbers. And that's no slight on AEW.
A lot of money onto a lot of numbers onto the numbers. Like they will add, there'll be more people there. I feel like, but I think like there'll be a ridiculous number advertised.
Yeah,
they'll get like flipping 83 or 84,000. They'll say there was 96,000 there. That's the only trouble I have with WWE.
Tony Khan's done the same though, hasn't he? Really, by saying there was 81,000 paying and over 90,000 people in the stadium. So I mean, he's done the exact same thing.
Yeah, but he's including the talent, the Green Crew, Session Moth Martina was there, all of 45 kids. Like, it was a lot of
all of them do it. So yeah, I feel like WWE would outperform that if they ever book Wembley. But I also don't think they'll do it.
Yeah. They'll do download 150,000 people. Let's end this podcast on Dynamite, I guess.
Yeah, so, we'll move past the first show at Wembley in years to AEW Dynamite.
Yes. So it kicked off with Moxley versus Commander. I rated 2.5 stars. It was just a match.
Commander died, didn't he?
Yeah, he died. Don't care.
No.
I rated 2.5 stars. And you know he's going to challenge Cassidy, and there's just stuff.
Yeah.
Don't even know what I've hit here. I've just written Cassidy. I think he's speaking about Cassidy at backstage. Or Cassidy. Cassidy had a package, didn't he?
Yeah.
About being champion. That's what it is, because I don't normally write about the packages. The Bucks and FTR were backstage, and then the Bang Bang Gang come over, and now it's going to be an 8-man tag at All Out, which will be a good match. FTR Young Bucks versus the Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah.
Storm is character-wise is the best she's been in years. I love Tony Storm's new character.
It's like a
married bro. Yeah. Like she went like it's the way she words stuff as well. We went Shariah went off script.
Yeah.
It was like, now I don't have a title. Shariah hates me. Ruby hates me. I've got no friends. But why is this happening? Walks off.
I hate these shoes.
Just hits Renee.
Yeah.
Y2J comes down to the ring, and then he has a discussion with Sammy, who comes down. They have an argument about, like, Sammy could have hit Will Ospreay harder with a bat. Then Sammy went, well, you could have hit the Judas Effect harder, and you would have picked up the win that. Then they're on about, you know what, you could have won the title if you didn't lose to Fingy, and then they're going to have a tag team match out of nowhere now.
Yeah.
The Sex Gods are back.
For now.
Moxley is saying that all three guys that could be in this match, we know who's in the match now. None of them, they're more about their bite than their bark. Obviously, Cassidy doesn't really speak. Penta doesn't really speak, and that's pretty much what he was on about. Yuta versus Eddie Kingston are rated 3 stars. Just a brawl fest between the two guys. Eddie Kingston's good at just hitting things. That's what the Eddie Kingston match is.
Eddie Kingston is so overrated.
You're overrated. You're overrated. Next. No, I love Eddie Kingston. Promo-wise, he's fantastic, and I don't mind him in the ring. He knows his limitations in the ring. He's not trying shit.
He's got more limitations than he thinks, then.
No. He's Kawada. Guevara and Callis backstage. Callis just trying to smile him up to Guevara, and Guevara just instantly tells him to fuck off, basically, which I liked.
Yeah.
Well, no. They're doing a Grand Slam tournament for the world title, which is going to end at Grand Slam. It's going to be an 8-man tournament. Cole comes down to the ring. Strong comes down to the ring. They have an argument because Strong says, like, you're caring about MJF's neck. What about my neck? You know, you care and stuff like that. It's like, that is fair enough thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still in the thing. Then Strong basically goes, the only way you're going to care about me is if I take this title away from MJF. And then Cole goes, but what about your neck? And Strong goes, oh, you care about it now, do you? And he went, I'm pretty much the man enough to beat anyone in this locker room with a bad neck. And I was like, fair. Yeah, you are. And he's going to break backs.
Where's the lie?
Yeah, there's just general jealousy from Strong, and I like it. I like the story. 6-woman tag, which was Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, and Statlander versus Sakura, Shafia, and Nyla Rose. I rated it 2.25 stars. It wasn't a good match. The only good bit is the dissension between Britt Baker and Statlander and Cheetah. It just made sense on that side. They ended up losing. Shafir got beat by Statlander. And then Statlander got laid out by Ruby Riott, and Ruby Riott stole the title. Takeshi did it, and Callis did a PowerPoint presentation, which I really liked, about all Kenny Omega's weaknesses and all his injuries, and this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it was well done. I like Callis, I'm going to be honest. Acclaimed had a thing in the ring, and they did scissoring, and they cut a rope, and now there's new titles because they're pink.
Cool.
And they can scissor them. Oh, you don't get to see Dynamite. Have you seen Dynamite this week?
I haven't seen it.
The back of the titles are scissors, so you can scissor the back of the title.
Oh, really? Right. I've seen, I've only seen snippets of it just through the day, but I've not seen that.
Yeah. And then to top off Dynamite, my match of the night was OC versus Pentagon. This match, if you forget everything about the story, is a lot better than 3.25 stars. But because Orange Cassidy's story is that he's fecked, he's been battered every week.
Yep.
Do you know how he wins this match?
Probably in some outlandish way that no-sells everything he's feeling.
Yes. So, do you know Pentagon's Fear Factor?
Yes.
Which is the package pile driver.
Yeah.
He hit him with a package pile driver on the apron, rolled him in. Orange Cassidy kicked out. Fair enough-ish, even though he's been battered continuously. Pentagon then commences to hit another Fear Factor on Orange Cassidy, and I was thinking, oh my god, Pentagon's won the title. There's no in between this. He's just hit 2 Fear Factors. Fucking 2.9. Orange Cassidy kicks out and rolls him up and gets the win.
It's shocking.
In a crucifix pin. I couldn't believe it. I probably would have rated this 3.75, maybe nearly 4, because I was really enjoying it until the end. Obliterated all my hopes. And then Cassidy did a really good promo afterwards, which I was fine with, where he's basically saying, which a lot of it is true about, no one's ever said he could be a champion, which is stuff like that, and he's been defending it every week. In the essence of the story, character-wise, his promo is very good. And then he said, Moxley's probably going to take it off him. It's pretty much the general gist. But
the problem he's got is that, everyone says it because it's true. The character he has created is great, but doesn't need a championship.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to lose it against Moxley. There's no physical way Moxley can not win that title.
If Orange Cassidy wins this match this weekend, he's gone through near enough the entire roster. There is literally...
Moxley,
and he's been half dead all the way through.
Yeah, and this is fighting one of the biggest wrestlers in AEW. He can't win. No,
it's impossible. And if he does, we are never recording another podcast ever again.
Think about it. Go on, OC.
But yeah, end of Dynamite. I'm assuming that was the end.
End of days. Yeah, we've been recording more than an hour, haven't we?
No, not quite. So we've done quite well. But yeah, we will end it right there. As always, like and subscribe. Leave comments. We've got our socials above us here. The HCW Show on Twitch, the HCW Show on Twitter, HCW Show Instagram, the HCW Show on Facebook, and HCW Show on Threads. Obviously, like always, we thank you for your support that is continuing. We will keep getting content out. As Rate alluded to earlier, there is a indie podcast coming up with himself and DP that'll be getting recorded very soon. There's a couple of interviews that are potentially in the pipeline as well, so keep a lookout for those. But on behalf of myself, it is goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you on the next one.